Hello YouTube viewers. You already know. It's me, Kira. Today, we're going to talk about Netplay, as it has come to our attention a lot more recently with the rise of Netplay warriors and a player named Cyrox, a Colorado kid who's made a meteoric rise in the competitive scene lately. For those of you who don't already know, Colorado does not have the biggest melee scene of all time, and Cyrox spends a ton of time playing Netplay, and probably attributes a good amount of his success to the advancements made to online play. In recent tournaments, he's beaten Gatsu, DJ Nintendo, Kobol, S2J, and even taken Ice to Game 5. However, Netplay might not be the whole story. First, I'll go over the pros of Netplay, then the cons, then the best way to use Netplay, and then I'll answer the final question. Is Netplay actually useful? By far, the best part about Netplay is just how convenient it is. It's right there, you don't have to travel or spend money. You can play all the time, you can play anytime you want, and you can play a lot more often. You can also play people you normally would never be able to practice with. This helps you learn new styles, get used to a lot more players, and test things out against a wider variety of people. And of course, not all regions have big scenes. You might live in like a smaller region or maybe like in the middle of nowhere, and this is just a way more convenient way for a lot more people to get into the game. In fact, it might be really good for the community to garner more people through Netplay. And finally, with the ladder, it's a great way to promote competition without actually costing anything, with the whole ladder system and the ranking system. Now, for the cons, the biggest problem is obviously the lag. I mean, your connection between people isn't always the best. The further away you are, the worse the connection is, the slower the gameplay is, and while there is a buffer, depending on people's preferences, they may set it too high or too low, and it just kind of changes the timing of how you play the game every time that you play. Now, due to this lag, there are certain things that are a lot better on Netplay, certain tactics and strategies that are a lot worse on Netplay. It's not exactly the same game as you would be used to as if you were going to tournaments all the time and playing on CRTs. Certain reaction things like trying to edgeguard Falco's side B, or certain Fox's jab to up smash combos are a lot harder to react to. Getting the correct smash GI at the last second may not happen as quickly or as often. And on the other hand, spamming down smash with like Peach and Sheik, or even just taking advantage of people's lacks of tech skill, spamming shield grab with ice climbers can make a huge difference online. It's definitely more difficult to get used to a Netplay timing than playing in person. Aside from actual gameplay problems, I would say that the community is slightly more toxic online. People kind of complain a bit more. They're not as friendly as like the great community that we're used to in the melee scene because we see each other in person. You also don't get to experience playing the player as much. Now, what I mean by that is you can sometimes tell when someone's right next to you if they're tilted or how they feel about the match, how the match is going for them and stuff like that. And you can actually adjust how you play based on how your emotions are of your opponent. However, you don't get the same experience as you would as if you were playing in tournament, which can be really useful when you actually go to the big events. Lastly, multiple accounts are not allowed, so if you wanted to practice a secondary or level up another character, it's a little more awkward to do that, but that's kind of a minor point. So here's what you really need to keep in mind if you want to take advantage of Netplay to the fullest. One, since certain characters and tactics are just going to be harder to deal with and just aren't going to be exactly the same as playing on a CRT, you're going to have to make sure you don't get frustrated. There are some things that can be really annoying or difficult to deal with on Netplay, and as long as you can maintain a positive attitude and understand you're just here to learn, then Netplay can be great for you. On Netplay, because there's delay and lag, you can't out-tech skill people as easily. Like, you can't overwhelm them with your speed, and practicing tech skill won't help as much on Netplay as it would in person. Now, this is important because you can't actually practice overwhelming someone as easily on Netplay as you could in person, so this kind of style might be harder to develop. But at the same time, it does help your decision making, your overall strategy, and your matchup tactics, and can just help you become a more cerebral player in general. You definitely cannot avoid practicing tech skill alone on your own CRT. Cyrox especially practices tons of tech skill. You can see how fast he is. There's like videos out there showing just how much he practices, all the crazy tech stuff he can do, and that cannot be ignored. Netplay is not a replacement for playing real melee. And finally, you just won't be as used to the tournament scene. Once you finally do go to a big event, you'll have to get used to things like warming up, playing in a new environment, eating new food, having to deal with schedules, and all this kind of stuff that you just wouldn't normally be able to experience in the comfort of your own home. You won't be able to play as perfectly as you could if you were sitting in your own house playing the game that you always do all the time. And you're gonna have to deal with a crowd, having more pressure, and just a lot of people around you in general. So let's get down to it. Is Netplay actually useful? And the answer is absolutely yes. In fact, it may even become crucial to learning Melee at a high level from now on. And not only is it probably going to be the best way to practice from now on, but it even may be exactly what the community needs as a whole. Netplay could help get more people into the game, help our events grow bigger and better, have Melee get more screen time, and we might even find the new King of Smash. You never know. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please comment in the video, what do you guys think about Netplay? How do you feel about it? For those of you who have tried it, how do you like it? Is this the way you got into Melee? Let us know what you think. And please, as always, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell next to it to get real notifications, thumbs up the thing, and all that good stuff. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next week, and happy holidays.